Welcome everyone.
I am Ramos.
I am Agot. This is IS1 reporting.
We will begin to the relationship of Philippines to Middle Eastern countries. There are three dimensions to Philippine relations with Middle Eastern countries: oil dependence, Muslim separatism, and labor conditions for Filipino contract workers in Saudi Arabia and Persian Gulf states. The Philippines required reasonably priced oil, and fluctuations in world oil prices caused serious problems for the Philippines, including politically incendiary strikes where the drivers of jeeps converted to carry passengers, which were a vital form of public transport in Manila.
For this reason, the Philippine government was very conscious of the need to maintain amicable relations with the Middle Eastern oil producers, and of the effect that its treatment of the Muslim minority could have on those relations. Furthermore, although Moro National Liberation Force leader Nur Miswari lived and worked in Libya and Saudi Arabia, Arab leaders were reticent in their support for Miswari. In addition, as of January 1991, there were an estimated 495,300 Filipinos working in the Middle East, including 390,000 in Saudi Arabia, 2,000 in Kuwait, and 50 in Iraq. Those workers were a major source of Philippine hard currency earnings, but their presence also made the Philippines vulnerable to volatile changes in Middle Eastern conflicts. Up next, the Philippine relations to East Asia.
Korea, Japan, and China.
The diplomatic relations between the Philippines and China was established on June 9, 1975. Since then, the bilateral partnership between the two countries has reached unprecedented levels in terms of politics, security, and regional cooperation, investment, agriculture, tourism, and cultural and people-to-people exchanges, which have benefited the two countries and the people as stakeholders in the peace and prosperity of the Asia-Pacific region. The two countries have also cooperated closely in various regional and international issues that have profound effect on the stability and economic development of the region.
Over the past 40 years, Philippine-China bilateral relations continue to strengthen. The relations are multifaceted and involve the three branches of government: the executive, legislative, and judiciary, and the various sectors of society as well. Since 1945, the two countries have concluded almost 100 bilateral agreements that cover a wide spectrum: political, defense, trade and investment, judicial cooperation, infrastructure and development, energy cooperation, air services, cooperation in combating transnational crimes, consular cooperation, tourism, culture, sports, media exchange, agriculture, science and technology, sister cities, and people-to-people exchange. It reflects the breadth and depth and the growing cooperation between the Philippines and China. I am Deanne Lobo,
And Nicole Hermoso,
reporting.
The Philippines was occupied by Japan for almost 3 years during the World War II in the 1940s. During this period, the Japanese military authorities organized a new government structure, often referred to as a puppet government, under which a number of Filipinos. The two countries have gone a long way from the wartime period, when at least 7,000 soldiers died in the Bataan death martial law, and have since established a relationship based on a cooperation and mutual trust. Japan is the Philippines' largest trading partner. It continues to account for a majority of the country's foreign trade. It has been the top trading partner of the Philippines for many years. In the first sem of 2015, Japan accounted for 14.7% or $8.765 billion of the country's total foreign trade. Primary exported goods to Japan are electronic products, woodcraft, and furnitures. One of the biggest foreign groups in Japan are Filipinos. The population of Filipinos in Japan is the third largest group of foreign national residents, with 207,585 of them as of 2014. According to the Japan Statistical Yearbook, this number accounts for the Filipinos who are medium to long-term and special permanent residents. I'm Angeline Joy Peji reporting.
Bilateral relations between the two countries was started on March 3, 1949, when the Philippines became the fifth country to recognize the Republic of Korea that was inaugurated on August 15, 1948. The friendship was cemented by the Philippine deployment of the Philippine Expeditionary Force to Korea during the Korean War in the 1950s to help South Korea defend itself from the invasion of the North. After the armistice, the Republic of Korea sent Kim Yong-ki as its first ambassador to the Philippines on January 19, 1959. In May of the same year, the Philippines established a legation in the Republic of Korea, led by Minister Thomas de Castro, who was appointed as envoy extraordinary and minister plenipotentiary of the Philippines in the Ambassador Eduardo Quintero. The relationship blossomed in the course of the decades through cooperation in both bilateral and multilateral settings. They are now cooperating closely in the UN, RAILAC, ASEM, APEC, ARF, EAS, and ASEAN Plus 3.
South Korea is currently a major trading partner of the Philippines. In 2006, South Korea was the top sender of visitors to the country, with more than 500,000 of arrivals. Both governments have instituted various agreements as the bilateral level, including the employment permit system for labor. Cooperation between the two countries in the political, security, economic, socio-cultural, and development fields is expected to continue as both parties strive to further strengthen relations. The Philippines is an active supporter of the inter-Korean peace process and reconciliation efforts. It joins the international call for the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula as a crucial step for the security and continued economic development of the region, and strongly advocates a diplomatic solution to the North Korean nuclear issue. High-level policy consultations between the Philippines and South Korea are done on a regular basis. I am Castillo and Hazel Soria reporting. Thank you, reporters. Up next.
The Philippine relations to the ASEAN, or Association of the Southeast Asian Nations.
The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or the ASEAN, was formed in 1967 by Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand to promote political and economic cooperation and regional stability. Brunei joined in 1984, shortly after its independence from the United Kingdom, and Vietnam joined ASEAN as its seventh member in 1995. Laos and Brunei were admitted into full membership in July 1997. As ASEAN celebrated its 30th anniversary, Cambodia became its 10th member in 1999.
The ASEAN Declaration in 1967, considered ASEAN's founding document, formalized the principles of peace and cooperation to which ASEAN is dedicated. The ASEAN Charter entered into force on December 15, 2008, with the entry into force of the ASEAN Charter. ASEAN established its legal identity as an international organization and took a major step in its community building process.
The ASEAN community is comprised of three pillars: the political, security community, economic community, and social-cultural community. Each pillar has its own blueprint approved at the summit level. Together with the Initiative for ASEAN Integration, or the IAI, strategic framework, and III work plan phase 2, they form the roadmap and ASEAN continuity.
ASEAN commands for greater influence on Asia-Pacific trade, political and security issues that its members could achieve individually. This work is based largely on consultation, consensus, and cooperation.
Every year, following the ASEAN Ministerial Meeting, ASEAN holds its Post-Ministerial Conference, or the PMC, to which the Secretary of State is invited. In 1994, ASEAN took the lead in establishing the ASEAN Regional Forum, or the ARF, which now has 27 members and meets each year at the ministerial level just after the Post-Ministerial Conference.
I'm Angelica Villanueva,
And I am Julia Christine Castillo,
reporting.
Thank you everyone.
Once again, I'm Rayzel.
I'm Aljon.
This is IS1 Report.